Hello, I'm here today with Tony Paine, president of Kepware. How you doing today, Tony?
Very good. Yourself?
Yeah, now that 2012 is here, what are you coming up with for new initiatives for Kepware as the year is going forward?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Kepware's roots have always been, heavy in discrete manufacturing over the years. So we found ourselves doing a lot of discrete manufacturing type drivers, protocols. But we noticed over the years there was some carry through over to some of the verticals like building automation, oil and gas, and power. Started to dabble in those fields over the years, and have decided to step back late last year and focus solely on oil and gas. With a concentrated effort of enhancing our protocols in that segment, as well as making sure that we're meeting the regulatory requirements, security requirements for those spaces, and connecting to a wide variety of applications.
Well, now especially as you're going forward with oil and gas and coming up with additional communication solutions, what technologies do you see going to be most important for Kepware as we go forward over the next decade or so?
Yeah, the thing I think is really important is going to be in the area of security. Especially with all the openness. I mean, the market is demanding open communications. However, there's a balance between openness and security. So we're really watching, what the market's doing. We're looking at standards like ISA 99, looking at the layered approach on how to apply security to our space. And us as a communication solutions provider, we're part of that stack. And we've got to figure out how to secure the communications at that level. Foundations like the OPC Foundation are helping us, secure the data between us and richer applications. But we also sit on top of many, hundreds of different protocols that have been out there for many years, which may have security. In a lot of cases, they don't. So we need to figure out how we can secure that information, especially as people try to bypass, the HMI, SCADA applications, the MES and stuff, and they want to go directly to the plant floor from outside the plant.
Yeah. Now to do that certainly is going to require some additional innovation. So what is your feeling regarding innovation? What do you think you need to do? Do you need to increase your R&D budget, or how do you handle the whole R&D aspect of Kepware?
Yeah. So Kepware is a little over 60 employees, and we actually put out 3 releases a year. We do 3 releases a year because we have lots of partnerships. We partner with a lot of vendors who have release cycles that are on 12-month cycles. Some of them are 18, 24 months. They're all out of phase, and we all know that our customers can't run beta code. They can't run pre-release software. They want something that's been released. So over the years, we've tried to figure out how can we be creative and create worthwhile releases. And we've divided the engineering team into a couple groups that focus on parallel development efforts. So if we're going to do a release every 4 months, and you run those in parallel, you have 8-month efforts going on between the engineering team. We've also allowed for the allocation of a couple resources to be solely responsible for the maintenance aspects of the product. We're continually evolving the product. Customers have smaller type enhancements that need to be done sooner than later. We need people to be able to address that outside of the normal roadmap stuff. What we've recently done is we've taken a couple of our senior engineers and we've pulled them out. We've made them more like mentors for all these different groups, but at the same time, they're actually performing some research and development type tasks where they're going and they're helping us think of our long-term strategy, investigating some of these areas like security, so that when we're actually ready to put that on the roadmap, that we've got a good foundation to build off from.
Great. A lot of what your customers certainly talk about are things like energy savings, sustainability, regulatory requirements. How do you, at Kepware, as you provide communication solutions, how do you help customers achieve their goals regarding sustainability and regulatory requirements?
Yeah. So we're already in a lot of these manufacturing environments, and we're the pipe between the plant floor, the HMI SCADA applications. We're providing the process data for the automation and control, and that's how we get our foot in the door. And what we're seeing is a lot of manufacturers are taking our product, they're taking advantage of some of the new connectivity we've added, like IT infrastructure monitoring. We've also done some build and automation and control system type applications or drivers that plug into the product. So they're basically taking some of those value-added stuff and building on the infrastructure they already have in place, monitoring the IT infrastructure, monitoring heating, air conditioning, lighting, and such. With the sole purpose of running efficiently, keeping costs down, and making a safe environment for their employees.
Wow. Now, obviously, to accomplish all the things you need to accomplish, sometimes it involves partners. You can certainly do a lot yourself, but at the same time, it's important to have partnership programs. Tell me what Kepware has regarding its partnership programs.
Yeah, I mean, a partnership has to be a win-win. I think we all agree with that. Kepware has been, created many partnerships over the years, but we've also gone back and reevaluated some of those partnerships. What can we do to be a better partner? A couple cases recently, we've gone back this past year in 2011 and really reevaluated our international distribution model. And in some cases, we recognized that some of the collateral, some of the information that we provided 3, 5, 8 years ago was still being presented to customers in different regions because we signed agreements and we never did follow-up. We weren't proactive in making sure that they were, up to date on our positioning, what we were building, what was released. So we're revisiting that and making sure that we're a better partner. And it also requires us to do some co-marketing, making sure that we're investing in the partners so we can get their mind share. Another thing is we have a lot of OEM relationships, very important to Kepware, and we need to make sure that we're being proactive to understand what the vendors who are OEMing our product, what their roadmaps are, and where do we align, making sure that we can complement their direction and not be always playing catch up, but being upfront and proactive.
Okay. Final question. I'm sure there's a word you've probably never heard before, but cybersecurity. I'm sure that's something that comes up continuously, especially as you establish communications between all the different products that Kepware is responsible for. So what's your perspective on cybersecurity, and what are you doing to enhance security in your product, and what are you doing to help your customers deal with the issue of cybersecurity?
Yeah, cybersecurity, security in general is very important. I think everybody's awareness of the topic these days is very high. I mean, with cases like Stuxnet and the Iran nuclear facility, people are saying, okay, how is my environment? Is it something that can be, penetrated by the outside, industrial espionage, and whatnot. We went through a trend where I think a lot of us vendors were making it easy for our customers to take the product, install it out of the box, and get it up and running. And sometimes that actually meant that the best security practices weren't being followed. And in 2009, with a major rewrite of our application, we decided that we were going to flip the switch and say, hey, everything's going to be secure by default. And it's up to us to provide the tools, the documentation, the examples to make sure that our customers still have that ease of use, but they're actually deploying, secure solutions.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Tony. I'm glad you're able to join me today.
Thank you, Craig.
And this is Craig Resnick from the ARC Orlando Forum, February 2012. Thanks and have a great day.